Yeah, I will probably for the next project. I will definitely use more custom sounds.
Oh, what's your next project?
Oh, it's in the very early stages and it's completely secret at the moment.
Oh, interesting.
All I can say is it's going to be smaller than DTS-T.
Well, okay.
Which is not really easy. It's not really difficult to make it smaller because DTS-T has 33 levels.
Yep, and I'm going to die, by the way. Just thought I'd mention. So I did save here, and that's Let's see if I can find a way to go on my second try. I don't think I'll be able, unless there's like an elevator on one of these platforms. That's yes. This is so dark around here that I didn't even see the elevator unless I came up close. But that's just my monitor being really dark. Also, what did I just find? Oh, map. Okay. So yeah, and I was really going to say something which I completely forgot.
About new projects, maybe.
No, it was way back when you were talking about the mancubi spawning things. When I
okay.
One of those times when I wanted to mention something that I've done previously, which was really two things related to that whole area. First, the mancubi, because I'm wondering if I should remove that, but in my Zoom WOD in progress, I made that mancubi are randomized. Each attack of theirs is randomized in which direction they'll shoot. So if you like rely on your knowledge of like dodge right, dodge left, and then dodge right again, or whatever pattern they use, if you rely on that to dodge their fireballs, that's not going to work anymore. And I am now wondering if it's just too difficult for players that are really used to that.
Okay.
I wanted to ask in the thread, someone, I think, I don't remember what thread it was, but someone mentioned like something about maybe, I think it was about fast monsters and how the monsters of Doom 2 aren't really changed with the fast monsters as much as the Doom 1 monsters were. And the guy said that one of the ideas was Mancubus would be made much more dangerous if he would shoot in random directions, and then I thought maybe it's too big of a change for me, but I didn't ask it in there because I expected everyone to say, yeah, don't do that, man, remove that, and then I would probably have to remove that because I asked and I was told to do that. But if I don't ask,
ignorance is bliss, isn't it?
Yep, if I don't ask, it means that it's okay. Okay, this looks like a big... Oh no, it doesn't look like a big toilet. Also, which map... one thing I kinda don't like is that I can't see the map number on the auto map because...
Oh yeah, I did that on purpose. I think it's because everything is a hub. The hub behavior causes the number to disappear or something. But I liked it that way because I really wanted the player to forget about numbers and just focus more on story and immersion and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's not really necessary, but
it's map 12.
All right, because I don't want to miss a secret level if it's in map 15
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that actually. There is a secret. There are 2 secret levels in the game. And do you want to know which levels they are in? I mean, the secret exits?
Well, sure, unless, I don't know, I kind of assumed they were still in map 15 and map 16.
The first one is actually in level 15, yes, so it's 3 levels from here. But the second secret level, I moved that to the final chapter.
So, which map is the second secret? Also, I think I said levels 15 and level 16, and that's completely wrong.
You will know when you're there. You will see the secret exit of the second secret level, but you will not get it unless you do something.
Well, obviously. Okay, so, okay.
There's actually voice acting for the second secret level, so you will not miss it, I think, unless you're ignorant and...
Which I am. So, well, I'll keep an eye and an ear out for that, I guess. And map... So, you said this was map 12?
Yeah, so 3 levels from here you will find a secret exit.
Well, I'll have to remember that, I guess. Okay, now time to actually...
Oh, sorry,
Look
I
where
missed
I'm
that. This is actually level 13. We just did 12 and now we're in 13. So it's 2 levels from here, sorry for that.
Okay, so next level and the level after the next should have a secret.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, that's good to know, because I wouldn't want to miss that. I think you said in our first episode that all the toilets were in a secret level or something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, that's not something I'm willing to just kind of miss out on.
But there are 2 toilet levels, so to speak. One official and one secret level.
Okay.
So you will get to see toilets either way.
Lovely. Also, that's just cruel, man. That's just cruel. Trapping that in there. That's... wow. I think even if he tried to attack me, he would blow himself up inevitably.
Probably.
Oh yeah, and before I forget, the second thing that it's a curious little... when you were talking about how you made backup teleport spots for the man to buy, I've made this thing which is like a teleport destination that is behaving like a bit like a monster, in that it looks for the player, and when it sees the player it starts running around like absolutely crazy. So if oh yeah, and it's said so it can't, I think it can't leave like to a different floor texture, which is, I think it's used like in Hexen for the monsters that swim in the water or something.
Ah, yeah, I know.
So that thing, and I use it to like spawn a lot of crap in a single sector. So like you walk in a big room or something, and there's a single teleport destination spot there, and I can use that because it runs around like totally insane way. And when monsters try to teleport, it's usually pretty much guaranteed that the teleport destination will be free, and they will manage to do it. And that's really makes for some funny sequences. I just well, there is like one area where you return to, and there is supposed to be a lot of lost souls, and before I just did it by like opening straight up monster closets. And now you walk there, you like take a step in, and then suddenly like 20 lost souls instantly spawn all around you, and that's really when people see that, they're like, "What?" And it's really funny reaction. Things like that, I'm really looking forward to trying to rope as many people as I can into Let's Playing my WoD, to just hear their reactions to all this stuff, stupid stuff that they did. There's like...
But you do everything with just vanilla mechanisms, or...
No, my it's for Z-Doom, so yeah, I wouldn't be able to make a wandering teleport spot in vanilla, I don't think.
Yeah, because you mentioned in another episode that you do not really ACS script on your own.
Yeah, I'm like really smart about that, so I made my WoD for Z-Doom, but I limited myself to that one map format, which is like Doom and Doom, so that it doesn't really support anything except for decorate and map info. But it's okay. I think if I had full access to scripting, I would be tempted to do stuff like music changes for battles, and that would just be absolutely like too far from Doom for what I am trying to do. I'm still trying to do something that resembles the original game. So yeah, that's having limits in your creativity is sometimes really interesting. Also, I completely forget where's the blue door.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do something that isn't Doom anymore either, because yeah, I mean, I admire the amount of work that some people put in their total conversions, but at some point it just stops being Doom and is just an outdated looking game.
Yeah, I kind of... well, many people disagree when I say that, but when I play Doom, I play it because I want to play Doom, and therefore, yes, it's a lot of my liking of Doom is because of nostalgia. So because I'm not as big a fan of the gameplay as some people are, so I'm not really playing the levels that are only gameplay oriented, if they don't have like a story or backstory at least. So if I don't know who I am and what I'm doing and where I am not really going to play the levels. So, and if you... well, I played Batman Doom, and that was fucking amazing, but
okay.
Otherwise, I'm with you here also, that I'm usually... and both trying to make and trying to play something that resembles the classic Doom. So yeah, and I think I know this DTS-T is close enough because it doesn't. The Egypt area really doesn't feel out of place for some reason. I don't know. It really feels like it belongs in that style. And the other styles, I like a bit of Doom and then maybe a bit of Hex and Heretic around here and there. I mean, so it really does feel like Doom-like. So
yeah. But what do you think about things like Knee Deep in Z-Doom? You mentioned you didn't really particularly like it.
At all. It was interesting. Apparently, a lot of the monsters that are used all the time nowadays, they originated from that, what they were first made for it. And at the time, it was interesting to see all the things that Z-Doom could do, because I didn't really like read through the wiki to find out all the possible tricks and stuff and engine. And well, stuff it can do, okay. And it was interesting at the time, but I didn't really care about actually playing it. I mainly I walked around. Well, I tried playing like around the second or third level. I just gave up because I wasn't having fun. So I just kind of the remaining levels I just kind of either cleared, either no clip through and looked around, and also I went to the final boss and looked at the final boss, and it's a really stupid looking sprite, by the way.
I'm just asking because I think for the next project I'm probably going to lean a bit farther out of the window than I did with DTS-T. I mean, DTS-T is still very faithful. It uses like 95% stock textures and 95% monsters from the original games. But I think for the next thing I really want to use some more custom resources and stuff.
Well, my dislike of Knee Deep in the Doom doesn't have anything to do with whatever custom things they use, because the monsters were cool, and there's like a couple new textures I think were also pretty interesting, so I wouldn't be opposed to something a little more out there than DTS-T, but it just got to be, I don't know, interesting, interesting enough so that I actually want to play through it and not just look at the levels in an editor.
So more in terms of story and atmosphere and
immersion
and stuff.
I am primarily playing games for that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
Of course, the gameplay doesn't have to. Damn it! I'm also slipping. Also, always using Russian words here and there. The gameplay doesn't have to be like extremely innovative and interesting, like some people say that these days you have to be really original. I can live just fine with like traditional Doom gameplay style without completely new ideas in it, but it has to not be a chore, I suppose. And sometimes people make maps in such a way that you have to play them beforehand to really know what's going to happen, or otherwise you're going to just die, and like extremely hard to survive ambushes on the first try, and that kind of stuff is a chore for me, because I usually don't really save too often. I save the game. I usually don't save too often when I play, partly because I forget, and partly because I don't really like abusing saves because it strips the gameplay of like any tension, if you know that you can run anywhere you want and just kind of scout ahead and die and reload and go there with the knowledge of what's coming up. And because of that, if I make like it a bit into a level and then die, and I'm faced with I'm faced with a choice to either replay the whole level that I already remember from the beginning, or just playing something else. I usually just quit and play something else or do something else. So I don't have like patience or interest for levels that require me to like learn them and develop strategies and stuff like that.
Okay.
So for me personally, yeah, I enjoy stuff that's concentrated on story and immersion. It can have like next to no story, but the whole story can be you are trying to reach that place on the horizon over there, and the whole game you're just walking towards there. But if it's immersive, if the environments are interesting, and I'm going to enjoy it immensely. I even just had a conversation with Katamori on YouTube through the personal messages. He asked me if I like games or levels for FPSs that have no monsters, and I said that yes, absolutely. DTS-T or however, whoa, shit, crap, however it's pronounced, I enjoyed and stuff like that. So even you can have like a WOD that's like completely trivial. It's like you play as some sort of, I don't know, trader or a merchant, and he walks from one town to the next, and I'm going to enjoy it. Like, have 15 levels, and one level maybe there's a couple bandits, and that's it. And one level there's a couple wolves, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I'm still going to enjoy it if it's nearby wolf control accessible. Now I just have to know where the hell is nearby wolf control. And also I am surprised that I'm still living here, because I descended here.
I was actually surprised as well, because actually even I die often in this room. It's a very difficult room.
I haven't
30% health.
I haven't really noticed what I did and how I did that.
I think you just did the right thing. You stepped into the medikit and
the instincts took over, and I just ran for the medkit, and then I did the equivalent of shutting my eyes, screaming and shooting around all around in all directions, and it somehow worked, because I don't like remember a second of that room. Like if it's like I slept throughout the room, so I don't remember consciously making decisions on where to shoot and stuff like. It just kind of happened while I was thinking and talking about something completely different. That's interesting. Okay, and what did I do? Wolf controls, and did this start moving when I pressed the switch here?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, what does it mean? Probably something with some slime levels around here. Also, the grating texture is an interesting choice here for the floor, I have to say. And I like that in here it's positioned so the edge of the platform doesn't cut the grating in half. But sadly, it does cut it in half over here.
Yeah,
that's cut off.
Grades can be cut. I mean, I really paid attention to real world building structures recently, and sometimes really people and crafters, they just cut off materials in real life in they're cutting tiles into half or cutting grids, and it really looks awkward in many places. So doing that isn't always being lazy. Sometimes it's just showing off the real life.
Well, yeah, like here it's completely, I don't know, it's not cut in at the bottom, and it's cut at the sides and at the top, and it's completely fine. But there it just doesn't make sense at how it actually, what the shape of this is supposed to be like. Why is the mid grate, and then on the side here it's textured with like a plain wall, and what's the geometry here?
It wasn't meant as an excuse for that particular spot. I just wanted to say that sometimes it really does look like that in the real world.
Yeah, I was actually also noticing sometimes on like windows, like when I sent you those screenshots of cutoff in the first map, and well, that I still maintain that this particular stunt and texture, like this one, this doesn't really. Well, it's really sensitive about cutoff for me, because this, I don't know, this just look like they're 3D pads that would look really weird if they were cut off. But when like a building is made of panels or blocks, people cut windows and doors in it with completely no regard whatsoever to how many pieces they're going to cut in half or in awkward place. And even like I think in my bathroom and in tiles there, the mirror is cut into them completely, like whatever. I would have made it so much better if I was positioning that mirror there. It's just kind of irritates me, because I don't know, what's that condition called where you look at like various irregularities around you and you're just completely obsessed all the time thinking about how they should be fixed. Like sometimes like I look outside at night at which windows of the house across are lit, and if that's not symmetrical, I really like if I'm not doing anything better, I just look at that and...
You mean if you like suffer from Asperger's syndrome or something?
Well, I don't want to really come to that conclusion just like that, but there's bits and pieces of that sometimes that I notice. And well, did that barrel just jump out of the floor?
No, it did not.
Well, I'll have to review the footage later, because it really just kind of looked like as I was running, the barrel just kind of raised from the floor. That's weird, man. I guess the gases, whatever, are getting to me from all this toxic waste.
Yeah, probably.
All the stuff that I'm breathing in here.
Time to move on, Marine.
Well, I'm trying.
I could actually do some live Major Riley voice acting to spice up the experience for you.
Yeah, I was meaning to ask if it was you who voiced it.
In fact, he has my voice.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't. I'm surprised now that I didn't really recognize the voice when I first talked to you on Skype. And I don't know, only way later, I think in the video, with one of the videos with Hippocat, I mentioned Major O'Reilly as I mentioned him like his voice actor as if it was completely different person from you. But then when
I take that as a compliment, actually. You know, when
okay.
I read the lines, I really tried to pronounce correctly, and I had everything written down and read it from paper, so or from text file.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really the same as just speaking freely.
Yeah, but only after, when I was rewatching that part to make sure that I didn't miss anything, like for editing, I thought, well, initially I assumed that it wasn't you, because I was really expecting you to have like a heavy accent, but when it turned out that you didn't have a heavy accent and had really, like, for my ears, a very close pronunciation to actual people whose first language is English. I didn't remember what I was thinking about Riley, and didn't make the connection, and maybe you were also voicing him, so that kind of, it just dawned on me when I was rewatching that part. Maybe, damn it, this is embarrassing if it's him. Oh, what? But yeah, I don't think you can do the radio filter thing, so it's not really the same. I mean, in real time, as you suggested.
No, I cannot.
The robotic voice.
I like the accent of your last guest commentator. I think it was American.
He says he's from Canada.
Okay. Because, well, you know, I'm not a native speaker, but to me he sounded a bit like a young John Carmack from his accent.
Yeah, I really can't distinguish that well between accents sometimes. I can only like notice British accent and maybe the heavy version of a German accent and
yeah,
maybe French accent. Of course, the fake Russian accent that you hear everywhere in the media, which is not really, doesn't sound anything like a real Russian accent.
Yeah.
But yeah, those kind of things are just above my abilities.
Yeah, I can tell an American from an English man, and I can probably tell a Scottish or Irish person from an English man, but that's about it. Would never be able to tell a Canadian from a US citizen, I guess.
The only thing I noticed about him, because I really can't remember how to pronounce his username, the only thing I really noticed is that he sounded similar to the other two people that I have Let's Plays of Doom, various Doom WOTs that I've been watching. And I'm not really going to say who they are, because that could be a bit offensive, because one of them's a girl and one of them's a guy, and they sound really alike. And something in his voice also reminded me very heavily, to the point where I had a stray thought that maybe it was one of them just kind of pranking me, pretending to be a different person. Also, what purpose does this thing here serve on the space station?
The purpose is to annoy you and steal life from you, so you have a worse time in this level. sounds logical, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's just kind of something I already knew. I was thinking maybe you had some lore behind it.
Sometimes I fall back to this arcade Doom style where something just does not make sense other than being a trap to pester you.
Yeah, that's I like those elements usually. I can appreciate them. I don't really But this is a bit of an extreme, because I am closing an eye to the fact that we are on a space station and we are in a sewer that's made of bricks.
Yeah, but you know, this brick texture was just so appealing to me that I just had to use it.
I can understand. I also really love this texture. I can understand how it is appealing. But yeah, but that was kind of pushing it by the fact that it also had like a thin pillar moving up and down, made also of bricks. That was over the line.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, now I am assuming that I have to raise the sludge back up, and
That's a good notion.
I guess one of these should... No. Did I make a mistake by pressing them both at once last time I was here?
No, you didn't. Just one is just for lowering this cage around you, and one is for
right.
one is for well, what's it for again? I think it's just for gaining access to the valves in the other room.
Yeah. I thought that these were maybe the sludge controllers, and they were one-time use, and I just completely broke the law. But glad to hear that it isn't the case. I just have to apparently find whatever controls. Maybe there. Judging by how there's a new monster here. That usually happens when you have a reason to go there. Stage 2. But I think I already pressed this switch before, didn't I?
Yeah, this is this is a fairly new room. There was an old room here before, but last year during polishing I created a new room and added some script controlled switch that could just be pressed several times. Or as often as you like. You can raise and lower the slime as often as you like here.
Oh, and I just noticed that it's the brown kind of slime here.
Yeah, the idea is that the slime is very toxic in the beginning, and then in every stage it gets cleaned a bit. That's why it's called purification plant. And in the end you get pure drinking water for the rest of the space station, which is about here.
Yeah, I wouldn't really catch on to that, so it's a good thing that you explained that, because while I noticed that this was a different texture from all the other green stuff before, I think even after I saw this water texture, I still wouldn't make the connection that it gets purified as we go, because I usually don't pay enough attention to things like that when I'm playing, especially when I'm trying to play and talk and all sorts of things. I also constantly running out of shells, which is distressing. But I guess it's another instance of forcing me to use different weapons, which I can appreciate because I have almost full rockets and almost full plasma. I'm just noticing firsthand how the sin of Doom 2 players, when they rely too much on the SSG to the point where they can have full ammo for all the other guns, but if they are running out of shells, they feel like they... wow, that was smart. Like they are completely defenseless and naked and without any means to defend themselves. Like I'm always instinctively switching to the SSG now, even though I am right now talking about how I don't have shells.
Yeah, I wanted to balance the armor in the game so that you sometimes run out of ammo for one specific weapon and you're just forced to use another weapons from time to time. So this is on purpose, that you... I mean, every Doom player likes using the super shotgun 90% of the time.
Yeah.
But I want to bring the player out of his comfort zone every now and then.
That's a noble aspiration if I ever heard of any, so yeah, that's something that I can totally approve of, because it even tricks me up, seeing as how I was also doing the same thing. Okay, but these Keiko demons, they are confused. I think, don't the flying monsters usually always try to like maneuver if they are stuck under something that's hanging from the ceiling? Don't they usually try to like lower themselves to go under? Why aren't they going under this crusher?
Oh, the crushers, monsters cannot pass them, because that would just be too easy
Yeah, that would be convenient. And
initially, the monsters could go beneath them, and then they would all just die so quickly that I changed it so that there's more of a challenge here.
yeah, I guess only the fact that the Keiko demons were rising up and I didn't see them until it was too late. That was a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, I did this when you remember the Inner Sanctum of Adfu level, where there's a small section where there are lost souls in some lava pits and crushing ceilings.
Yeah, I think I was talking about tabletop games with Hippocat, completely unrelated to activity on screen.
That was another instance where I did this and prevented the monsters from going beneath the crusher, so it wouldn't become too easy for the player.
Yeah, that place was just too random for me. I couldn't really make up a pattern or a strategy there. I just ran for it and got crushed a couple times under a couple things, but thankfully I think they were all fast crushers, so I didn't really suffer too much from it.
Yeah, actually, because you mentioned it, the real Temple of Edfu building in Egypt again, only the first level is based on that, so the Inner Sanctum is completely free imagination from myself.
And by first level you mean the actual first level of the episode, or...?
Yeah, the first level of the episode that we did together in the Let's Play.
I don't remember how that first level was called. Do you remember how it's called?
Yeah, it's just the Temple of Edfu. And then you played the Inner Sanctum of Edfu without me as a commentator. So
right. For some reason I thought that the first level was like something neutral, and only then when we got to the second level it starts being a Temple of Edfu, so I was a bit confused. But yeah, it makes sense, because yeah, the first level really looked more like something that you would see maybe in a real Egyptian place, but the second level was
completely fantasy style.
Gaming, yes. Maybe I was confused because you mentioned actually modeling it after a real place only after we beat the first level, so I assumed it was that started only at that point. Also, I'm not sure I can...
It should be possible to do it without getting squished.
Well...
just try touching the crushers.
I am trying touching the... Aha!
Yeah, you can do it, you see?
I was doing the exact same thing, but when you said how to do it, it worked for some reason. No one is going to believe me. Okay, okay. I wonder what was I doing wrong, because I think I was touching the crushers and I was trying to run diagonally. Is running diagonally required there, I wonder, to pass under them?
Ah, that's a good question. I think I never really, you know, I don't know. I would say it's not required, but you could catch me off guard here. And
I am just going
prove that it's actually not possible without doing it.
Go into that. So the basis for this scientific research, are all the crushers essentially the same by the speed and the width and such?
They're slightly random.
Well,
or slightly different. Not random, they're not random, they're just slightly different from each other.
Well, I see that they're not in sequence, but I'm wondering if they have the same speed.
I don't think, from memory, I don't think they have the same speed.
Yeah, these two have different speed because they are completely running out of sync with each other, I noticed. Yep. Okay, which has... Well, this... Actually, you know, this is really an interesting thing here. Too bad I already passed it. Looking at these two, and I'm just trying to concentrate on actually thinking and trying to figure out which one is slower based on how they're going out of sync, and it's really messing with my brain right now.
I could open up Doom Builder and find out while you play if you like, but I don't know.
I think they're not too different, so it doesn't really...
I think I did something like 48 speed the one and 56 the other, or something like that. So minor differences. Also
arbitrary divisible by 8 numbers, I see, as everyone does it, even when it's not really required. Maybe it's another sign of that. How did you call it? The syndrome? Asperger's? That one?
Asperger's syndrome. Yeah.
Lovingly called. I don't know. When I'm listening to music on Winamp, I'm always making the volume like a round number or something, and yeah, when I'm like choosing numbers for parameters for monsters and such, I'm always I don't just make a completely random number, which would work probably better. I'm always trying to make it either divisible by 8 or some such, or maybe 10
Yeah.
in different cases, or 5. That's another case. Also, I really think that these cannot be passed without damage if you're not running diagonally. I'm even going
The
to try...
leftmost one might work though. I don't know. It should work if you're really quick.
Nope, not quick enough. Actually, it didn't really kill me outright, but I still got hurt. So yeah, I guess running diagonal. That's one thing I kind of don't enjoy, because I view running diagonally faster as a bit of an exploit, even though everyone knows it. And I usually in my levels.
I rarely used it. I rarely
Yeah.
used it as a necessity.
I even for
I don't think I
secrets.
ever. I don't think I ever, like, consciously used it on purpose. But yeah, it's
I
a big
guess
project,
when
so I
you're
cannot really
testing-
put my heart on it at the moment.
I guess when you're testing, you're just subconsciously doing that all the time, because you know that it's
Yeah,
faster and-
probably, yeah.
yeah. But I try to catch those things even for secrets. There's like a secret I recently put into a map where you have it's extremely tight, like you have to shoot a switch and then jump down and run for a door that opens for like 1 second. And I'm always trying to test it for if it's reachable without running diagonally, and I just can't. I just cannot not run diagonally when I run to it. It's just this what's the word again here? Well, I'm so used to that even when I try not to run diagonally, I just cannot overcome that desire. I don't know, instinct, whatever. Is almost genetic at this point somehow implanted. So yeah, but no, I think everyone knows it, except like some really new people to Doom, which wouldn't really play this anyway, because they wouldn't
And
even
it
know.
could force you to think new ways and try to move in a way you've never moved before. So could like teach you new things.
That sounds sinister.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cheesy explanation or justification.
It's like, yeah, like something out of, like, I don't know, someone trying to sound really scary. This ward is going to make you move in ways you've never thought possible before.
I wasn't meant that way though.
But I really kind of perceive that as like that. Yeah, it's kind of like a movie trailer quote or a game trailer quote or something. You're going to learn completely new ways to move that you didn't know of.
I just had this recently when I played Tomb Raider 2 again after like a decade. And in the first Tomb Raider game, there is a jump that lets you make a head-on dive by pressing a certain combination. And it's just a fun move that you don't ever need to proceed in the level in the first game. And in the second game, it's the same with most of the levels, but like 2 levels before the final level, the jump is required. And I sat there and it was like, what the fuck, this is not possible to proceed here. And then I had to actually to read it up on the internet, although I've completed the game before. And then I learned or remembered that actually this non-mandatory jump was actually required here.
That's
And this is
amazing. That reminds me of if you ever played Flashback, an old game, 2D. I may have already asked you. I don't remember.
I haven't played it, but I know that game.
There is a move where you have to. There is like a running jump, and at the end he catches a ledge. And when you do a normal running jump, where you hold run and hold direction, it doesn't catch any ledges. But there is like a specific technique that isn't really obvious whatsoever, where when you start running, you have to let go of, I think, the direction and just press the run button, which is completely counterintuitive if you like played any game ever. But if you do that, he is going to automatically jump as soon as the ledge is in range, and he's going to jump and catch it. And it's required at the very second screen on the second level, and many people feel very strong emotions about that. Also, I'm lingering here because I was waiting for an opportunity to say that this is a really interesting area here. There's like a sewers and suddenly BAM! Space! I almost forgot that we were supposed to be in space.
Originally I wanted to have like force fields there, but for some reason I felt I should add grids to it.
Yeah, also the fact that merely like some almost rusty grids separate us from the void of space is kind of scary.
Well, yeah,
Maybe.
there's still supposed to be invisible force fields in the bottom, though.
Right.
Let's just let your imagination flow a bit here.
Sure. And that was, well, this is a long. Oh shit! This is a long elevator ride.
Yeah, that elevator ride was way longer, though. I quickened it quite a lot last year.
And it was for the better. It's still long enough to give you the sense that you.
You're now on the uppermost deck of the station, Marine. DTS scan is negative, unfortunately. There are 3 more unexplored decks directly below them. You better try and get down there.
Okay, and looking by the Skype call time thing, we are approaching our, rather my standard length of an hour and a couple minutes, so I think, seeing as how we just changed the level, we are going to stop this episode here.